Well, for me, on the 17 Women's World Cup happening for the first time in Africa, that's the first Women's World Cup at any level in Africa. I think it's an epoch-making, symbolic one. It's also a legacy and forward momentum, not just only for women's football on the continent, but also for gender equality in sports across Africa and also including the Arab world. I think it's a massive opportunity. This happening in Morocco, that this is not just about the host nation, Morocco, but again also a major new chapter opening for African women's football. And sincerely, no country has fits this opportunity more, this watershed moment than Morocco. You know, they are a rising powerhouse in African women's football and the nation steadily redefining what it means to be purposeful in women's sport. And for me, I think it's a lot to African football on many grounds. And, you know, understanding how much we seem to have been neglected, how much we seem to have been overlooked and undervalued in global football in terms of women. It's sort of an open visa for everyone involved in women's football in Africa, and it's such a joy that Morocco is leading this charge to change the African story for all they've been doing and for how far they've also delivered, also made huge impact and investment in women's football. So I think it's a joy that we're seeing such an amazing opportunity for African football, for women's football in Africa, and definitely we can't wait to see how much this will really impact the game across all length and breadth of Africa. You know, this definitely will see us leap in many bounds and ensuring that yes, we also can grow. Besides we hosting this event, surely we know that it's a possibility that now when we will launch for the Women's World Cup at the senior level, possibly from 2031, it definitely could be a great opportunity that yes, what Morocco has done with this U17 tournament will now be a big story, a life-changing opportunity, not just for Morocco, but for everyone who is involved. But again, when we want to talk about the impact, you know, sincerely, I think it's impactful on many grounds, because looking at the matches that were broadcasted globally, you know, the impact resonates strongly, I think, in the classrooms, in the schoolyards and neighborhood, not just across Morocco, but across the continent, when thousands of young girls will see players who looks like them, you know, competing at the top level. And, you know, looking at the number of teams involved from Africa, I understand that this is also a multi-year hosting tournament commitments by Morocco. Surely this gives us a massive advantage that yearly, now from Africa, you'll be seeing no fewer than 5 teams, you know, participating in this event. And it's very strategic, and most definitely for what they've done. This is potentially not just sporting advantage for Africa, but also it's going to be a massive and deeper social change this will really bring to Africa. You know, everyone who's known that Africa is faced with a lot of long cultural, religious, institutional barriers, no visibility for female athletes on such a massive stage in Morocco will be revolutionary. So I think it's great. It's great. You know, definitely, like you said during the WAFCON, you've seen a lot of Moroccan young girls now appearing on the billboards. You know, match televised in prime time. You know, surely is a symbol of progress across Morocco and also across Africa. A defining moment, I mean to say, for women's football in Africa. Surely, I can't wait to see this getting started, and this is history at its best for Africa. And most likely to add what impact it will leave for Africa in the next 5 years. I think, for me, I think inspiration is one. Definitely we know that thousands of young African girls will watch the tournaments, believing that they too can reach the world stage at one level. Also infrastructurally, you know, stadiums, training centers, transportation system upgrade, you know, for these tournaments, definitely will surely support domestic football in years to come, you know. And in terms of credibility, Morocco has strengthened the case of Africa, you know, as a trusted FIFA tournament host, you know, paving way for bigger events to come to the continent, and also not ignoring the equality momentum that media coverage, sponsorship, and public dialogue through women in sports will continue to grow even faster that we've ever seen before. So I think the moment belongs to Africa, not just Morocco that are wearing the hosting badge. It belongs to Africa, from Accra to Algiers to Nairobi, from Nairobi to Niamey. The continent is watching. The future now belongs to women's football, and it's not just to tolerate women, but also to celebrate women. And I think it's an investment that is not an afterthought. It's a strategic one, where we see stadium will be filled, and not just for the men's national team, but for women that represent their nation, not just representing for the sake of it, but for much pride and power. So I think it's been the first. It definitely will not be the last. And the teams competing already, we know surely it will resonate across the continent that yes, this is a big opportunity for Africa and road for women's football growth in Africa that is demanding and also full of potential. So I think it's a rich youth precedence and pedigree that for FIFA has opened to Africa, and the Women's World Cup experience will be tip, I think, for progress that will surely really cut across the whole continent and ensure that the impact will be seen in just few years to come for African women.